My name is Hannah Reed. I am 31 years old. 6 weeks ago, I woke up from a surgery that lasted almost 10 hours. The first thing I felt was pain. Deep, heavy pain that made my legs feel borrowed, like they didn't belong to me anymore. The second thing I saw was my phone. 81 missed calls. My heart dropped before I even unlocked the screen. When you see that many calls, you don't assume celebration. You assume disaster. I pressed play on the first voicemail. It was my father's voice. Calm. Too calm. Hey, Hannah. Just calling to let you know everything is taken care of. We made a family decision while you were in surgery. We sold your apartment. Used the money to cover your sister's wedding. You were unavailable, so we signed for you. You will understand later. $400,000. Gone. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I stared at the ceiling of the recovery room, listening to machines beep, breathing slowly. Something inside me went quiet, not broken, focused. The nurse asked if I needed more pain medication. I shook my head. I needed clarity, not numbness. Let me take you back. 7 weeks earlier, the day I finally got my surgery date. 3 years of pain. 3 years of being told to wait, to manage, to stretch, to push through. Until one morning, I couldn't stand without blacking out. That was when the doctor looked at me differently. Severe compression. 2 discs. Immediate intervention. Surgery date scheduled. I called my parents that night. Mom, I finally got the surgery date. Her voice was distracted. Laughter in the background. That is nice, honey. Nice. I told her the date. Told her I would need help getting home. She sighed. That is right during the wedding planning. Your sister has fittings that week. I waited, hoping. You will figure it out. You always do. The line went quiet. I sat there holding my phone, feeling something familiar. That feeling of being optional. My sister Lily was always the priority. When I worked through college, they paid for her acting classes. When I bought my apartment at 26, they asked why I didn't help Lily instead. She needs more support. They always said. Support was the word they used. I used a different one. Before surgery, I prepared everything myself. Meals, caregiver, medications, paperwork. They didn't help, but they did call. Twice, asking if I could contribute more to the wedding. The venue, the dress, the flowers. I said no. 5 days later, I was on an operating table, counting backward. I never made it to 5. While I was unconscious, they made their move. When I woke up, I understood something. This was never about money. It was about control. And they had just made the biggest mistake of their lives. Because what they didn't know was that 4 years earlier, I had quietly bought something of theirs, something they depended on. And the timing was perfect. 4 years earlier, before the surgery, before the wedding, before everything broke open, my phone rang late at night. It was an old friend from college. She worked in property finance. She should not have called me, but she did. Hannah, I probably should not say this, but your parents are in trouble. She told me numbers, big ones, mortgage arrears, credit cards, loans, foreclosure in 60 days. I remember sitting on my apartment floor, back against the couch, barely breathing. The same parents who never showed up for me, who always had excuses, who told me to be strong. They were about to lose their house. I had a choice. Let them fall or save them. I called a lawyer the next morning. Quiet, precise, recommended by my company. His name was Daniel Cross. I told him everything. I want to buy the debt anonymously. I said. He paused. You want to own your parents' house without them knowing? Yes. It took 3 weeks. An LLC, a shell name, clean paperwork. When it was done, I owned their house. They thought an investment group saved them. They signed a lease. Grateful, relieved. They never asked who the owner was. They never suspected me. Every month, their rent landed in my account. I never raised it. I never missed a payment. I wasn't planning revenge. I was planning safety. I still loved them then. Back to the hospital. 2 hours after waking up, I made my first call. Not to scream, to document. I called my father. You sold my apartment. Yes, he said proudly. You forged my signature. You would have agreed. He said. That sentence settled something permanently. Family helps family. He said. I replied calmly. What you did is illegal. Silence, then anger. After everything we did for you, I said nothing. He hung up. My mother called next. She accused me of being dramatic, of ruining the wedding, of being jealous. I let her talk. Then I asked one question. Do you know who owns the house you live in? She laughed. Of course we do. I said nothing else. 3 days later, my lawyer visited my hospital room. He brought documents. The sale of my apartment was fraudulent, forged power of attorney, invalid notarization. The beer was protected. My apartment was gone, but my parents' house, still mine. The lease expired 1 week after the wedding. I stared at the ceiling, and for the first time since waking up, I smiled. Draft the notice, I said, but do not serve it yet. There was something else. My sister called. Sweet, fake. She said I was upsetting Mom. I asked one question. Did you know where the money came from? Silence, then excuses, then anger. You're jealous, she said. I ended the call. That night, she posted online a story about a bitter sister, a jealous woman, a victim bride. Everyone believed her. I saved everything. Messages, comments, voicemails, because truth works best when timed. And I had the perfect date. The wedding photos went viral. White dress, perfect smiles, champagne glasses raised. My sister looked radiant. My husband looked proud. My parents looked relieved. Everyone commented, beautiful family. So happy for you. True love wins. I watched it all from my bed. For line in my arm, phone in my hand. I waited 1 week, then another. The lease expired on a Monday. At 9:15 in the morning, my lawyer served notice. Vacate in 30 days. No extensions. No negotiations. The reaction was immediate. My mother called screaming, "You can't do this. This is our home." I said calmly, "Number. It is mine." She laughed hysterically. "Stop joking." So I forwarded the deed. Silence, then panic. My father called next, voice shaking. "This is a mistake." I corrected him. "Number. This is preparation. You stole my future." I reclaimed my foundation. He accused me of cruelty, of betrayal. Family helps family. He said again. I replied, "Family does not forge signatures." He hung up. My sister texted me paragraphs. "How dare you? You are ruining everything. Mom is sick because of you." I sent her one sentence. Actions echo. She blocked me. 2 days later, the extended family turned. Cousins, aunts, uncles, phone calls, messages, prayers mixed with threats. I answered no. Instead, I posted a single photo, a hospital bracelet, my name, my surgery date, caption. While I was unconscious, my apartment was sold. My husband remarried. My parents signed papers they did not read. I did not tag anyone. I did not accuse. I let the internet connect the dots. The comments exploded. Questions, confusion, doubt. My sister deleted her account. My husband called, First time since the wedding. He sounded tired. We can fix this. I asked him one thing. Why did you choose her? Silence. Then, she was there. You were not. That was his truth. I said mine. I was fighting to live. He cried. I did not. 3 weeks passed. Boxes appeared on my parents' lawn. For sale signs went up nearby. They tried to negotiate. I refused. The house sold quickly. Market was high. I transferred the money, not to myself, to a trust, for medical costs, for therapy, for distance. On move-out day, my mother left a letter. I did not open it. Some explanations. Arrived too late. That night, my sister sent one last message. You think you won. I replied, I did not play to win. I played to survive. The house sold on a Friday. I didn't watch. I didn't celebrate. I was learning how to walk without pain. One careful step at a time. Physical therapy taught me patience, something my family never had. Days passed, then weeks. The noise faded. No calls, no accusations, no apologies, just silence. At first, the silence felt heavy. Then it felt clean. I moved out of the apartment I was renting into a smaller place near the ocean. Not luxury, not impressive, peaceful. Mornings became mine again. Coffee, sunlight, no guilt. I went back to work slowly, remote, flexible. My body healed. My mind followed. One afternoon, an unfamiliar number called. It was my father, older, quieter. We lost everything. He said, I waited. Your mother cries every night. I waited again. We didn't know you would do this. I finally spoke. You didn't know me. That was the truth. He asked if we could meet. I said no, not with anger, with clarity. Some relationships expire, just like leases. My sister never called. I heard through someone else. Her marriage didn't last. Love built on stolen ground never stands. Months later, I opened the trust, paid my medical bills, closed old debts. What remained? I invested carefully, silently. No one knew. A year after surgery, I ran my first mile. Slow, uneven, real. At the finish, I didn't look back because the real victory was not money, not property. It was this. I no longer needed their approval, their love, their permission. They took my apartment, but I kept my spine, my name, my future, and that was enough.